So the first perspective shift that I want to share with you is kind of a follow on to some of the details that I shared yesterday in the introductory video, primarily about the statistics associated with my cancer and how scary it was to think that I might not have more than a 10% of chance of making it to 46. So my biggest shift that I want to share in regards to that is shifting to that statistics are not everything. Basically, you want to think about your story and what's going on in your life in comparison to what those statistics are. So yes, I do think that statistics are important because I realized that this mindset shift that I had thinking that statistics have to be taken with a grain of salt is kind of in contrast to some of the reading I've been doing for a class in this book, where basically he argues that we don't take statistics into consideration enough. However, I think that when we talk about statistics, we don't want to box ourselves in, and we need to really think, one, what's the sample size? So this, by the way, didn't come right away. This took me years to really think that these statistics might not apply to me in the same scary way that I initially thought they would, because the sample size is just so small, right? These cancers, as I shared, are not very common at all. So there's not a very big sample size, and there's a good chance that there are some out there that maybe have had a better survival in other parts of the world that we just don't know about. And so you really do have to think about the sample size when you're looking at statistics. And something that I've written about a lot with qualitative is bringing qualitative research and that sort of story side of things into for disaster recovery. I think that really applies here too. So I started to think about myself and my story and my situation in relation to the statistics to kind of change my perspective. And when I did that, I realized that I had a presentation where there were some lymph nodes involved, but there was no metastasis. So it hadn't spread to any part of my body. The surgeons got clear margins. They told me I had very long bowels, so that was great. And then, after the first couple of years when I didn't have any recurrence, I realized that was kind of shifting my odds better and better compared to kind of the norm where you don't know, what's that whole story going on about how was the surgery? Did they present with multiple tumors? Did they have a recurrence right away? And those are the folks that probably are skewing the statistics more toward higher fatality. So as I progressed, I started to think of those statistics kind of with a grain of salt, and that you really have to look at a bigger picture and the whole story, and to pair it with qualitative data like we need to do for disaster recovery, rather than just looking at straight to statistics and numbers when it comes to that.